Oh, it's day 2 and look at porn at school. We're done with this, but oh good. Okay, here we go again. So your text, it's a certain tag. Come on. Cash is Clay, Rory Calhoun. Jesus, that's an Irish name. Hey. Yay, Katie is here. Shalom, Katie. Let me get to where I can see you. Yay. Hi, there you are. How are you? I can see you. And Natalie's here. Can you hear me? I think you're no, frozen, not frozen. Can you guys hear me? Hi, Natalie's coming in. Shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom. How are you guys doing? So Natalie and Katie so far. Yeah, and I don't stand on formality, so just jump in. Is that a fiddle leaf behind you, Katie? fiddly tree fern?
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. I'm in a coffee shop, so
Oh,
attempt
well,
to
that's
credit for
great.
it.
It doesn't really matter, but that's, you picked a great spot. It's beautiful. And
Thank
Natalie,
you.
yeah, you don't have to have your camera on, just as if you want to ask questions, just jump in. And then it looks like Ellie there. Yeah. L or Ellie? Is it L or Ellie? She's coming in a sec. You can type it in chat. Hi, Ellie. If you can't talk, it's fine. Just type it in chat. And L, is it L or Ellie? And Danny's here. Cool. Cool. I'm gonna pull up Canvas just so we can share screens. It's been quite a day and a half. I hope everybody's doing all right. You guys hanging in? It's gonna be like 80 degrees today. It is still winter. So I actually got on the bottom of the screen, where it gives you like a little, this one says 72 and sunny today. Yesterday it said fire weather. I was like, no, we don't need that. Okay. So today we are, I'm glad you guys are here. This is kind of like an unofficial start to the class. But what I want to do is kind of just give you guys like a massive sneak peek, and then we can make a plan for what to do until the actual class starts. Oh, yeah. Okay. So today, 10:15 on the 8th. Very cool. Good. All right. Let's see who we have here. All right. So I have several of you, which is great. And what I'm going to do is record, this is being recorded, but I'm going to post it later. So you guys, if whatever information I shared today, you guys can go back and watch it, listen to it like 100 times. I try to do that with everything because a couple of things. I think a lot of people are visual. They like to see the teacher. We were supposed to be in the classroom, but everything got moved. So I'm trying to give you guys as close to what you signed on for technically. And then L or Ellie, pick one. What do you prefer? She's telling me either one. No, tell me. If you want to say Princess Floofy Pants, I'm down with that. Like, be you. Like, let's just be authentic as possible here. That to me looks like L, but Ellie would have an I, right? So what do your parents call you? Or what is that here? Typo. We'll say L, like Elle Woods, because you're gonna take over the world. Fantastic. That might be very culturally a saturated reference. I'm not a big legally blonde person, but people assume that I would be, but I'm not. Anyways, all right, cool. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna have kind of like an overview to the class. I gave you guys, I left a few things open in Canvas so you could have them. So like, again, the class is not starting until 3/7. So this is kind of like a preview. And so I can't technically assign anything, but I can give you like a sneak peek on what's going to be assigned. And so you guys can kind of work offline if you want. I know some people are like hyper compulsive and they want to get everything done quick, super duper fast. That's cool. We got like a month, right? First things first, the book in this class is free. The book in this class is free. I left it in a module. In fact, let me share right here where I put that. Excuse me. Okay, cool. So everybody can see my Canvas. This is just like the temporary homepage. It's like super, what's the word? Basic, super basic. I tend to like make my own graphics and do all kinds of weird stuff because I'm kind of a nerd. But this page is very basic. I wanted to focus on the content and not any bells and whistles. So today is 2/8. We're gonna just meet as long as you guys have me from 10:15 to 11:45 if that's what you want. You guys can come and go. This is not like an actual class, but just again, just to give you guys information. So apologies. I was told Sunday around noon this was going to change, and I was like, because I had everything super duper set up. And so here's the upside of this is number one, we'll get more students. So tell a friend. Again, the book is free. Even though our campus is doing free books this semester, please do that for your other classes. Please do that for your, I can't believe that they're doing that. And I think it's fantastic. So go for it. And I'll tell you guys how to do that in a little bit. And then, so again, I left open a few things over here for you to look at. I didn't give you like a bunch of content because I do think giving everybody everything the first week is overwhelming, because you have other classes, and then you're trying to like figure out their syllabus and your work schedule and all that business, right? So for you guys, I do this, we have a student view, because what you're seeing is like all the professor gobbledygook. So you'll see announcements that come up. Oh, it doesn't have announcements. Did you guys get a welcome announcement? Did you guys get an email? No? Yes? No? Okay. All right. All right. Let me do this. While you guys are here, I'm going to take notes real quick. Natalie. Oh, and Danny, you have like a little fur baby. That is like such a sweet looking pup. Lizette, good to see you. Jasmine. Okay. And I'm not taking like roll. I never take roll. I don't do that sort of stuff. I believe that you guys are adults. Come if you want to. Or don't come if you want to. Like, right? That's why I record everything. You guys can watch it later. So I did leave you guys the syllabus for sure. I cannot give you a copy of it until the actual class starts. Technically, we have to look at it like if the class is 3 months long, it has to be 3 months long for everybody. That's equity, right? That's fair. Can't be 3 months and then at the end of the class, somebody says, oh, I just need an extra day to turn something in. You'll find that I'm like super duper flexible with a lot of things, except for the very last day of class and technically the first day of class. So let's just all keep it on the same playing field, but other people, everybody needs different resources in order to keep the playing field, you know, equitable, but we have one monopoly board that we got going on here. Okay, so what I did is I put the syllabus with all the stuff in there except for the calendar of events, and I'll kind of give you a sneak peek of what that looks like. So these are all my policies and blah blah blah. You can have, like, again, I'll put a PDF version here. I'm not supposed to really share that until the class starts. Anyway, so I'm trying to give you guys as much without giving you guys assignments. I'll give you guys hints because you're here so you can get a jump start, but you don't have to turn in anything. So even on the first day of class on 3/7, you could have stuff ready to turn in then, and I'll give you. So this is the policies you guys can read through. I don't need to read to you, okay? But this is what's going on every week. So if you've taken a class from me, you'll know that I have kind of like this hamster wheel in a good way of expected work. Okay. So this class tends to be a very content heavy. And I have to tell you, child development people tend to be very excited and hyper about, especially this class. This is intro to child development or developmental, 0 to 18 kind of situation. Child development people are very serious about that. And I'm not saying that I'm not, I am. However, I come to this as a former social worker. I used to work for county. In there, you guys can read all about me. But so I come to this looking at the whole child as, and doing therapy. I used to be a therapy intern. Doing therapy, it was like, I would see the same issues over and over, the same problems over and over. And I was like, well, why are we putting a Band-Aid on it here when we can fix it here, right? So coming to this work, yes, child development is amazing. Everybody kind of undercuts it and thinks it's just babysitting. Well, guess what? Everybody on this planet was a child. Every single major on this campus is impacted by child development because you were a child. It's hilarious. Taylor's here. And so this is what you can expect every week, right? So every week is typically a chapter. Because we went from 16 weeks to 14 weeks, we'll have a little bit of overlap, and I'm going to try to make that fair. Maybe one chapter per unit will kind of like condense. So I don't want to get people overwhelmed and overloaded. I try to make this class fun and interesting. Because our book is online, there are some tools from the people who wrote the book. College of the Canyons actually put this OER book together. That's why it's free. Our goal for child development is to have all our core classes OER, so you guys don't, free books from the bookstore is not a new thing. All of our classes, we're eventually going to go that way. So every week you'll have a chapter, or maybe 2 chapters kind of mushed together, but you'll have the module opens at 8 a.m. on Monday mornings. If you guys need me to be more flexible, like, hey, I work Monday mornings, can you open it up Sunday night? No problem. Hey, I work Sundays, can you open it up? I'm flexible. To me, that these are just my course designs, but I'm flexible. I call it like choose your own adventure. We have content that we have to cover, but how we cover that, we can be flexible, because you know what? That's how life is, or at least should be at this point. Okay. So outlines and notes. And again, when I say choose your own adventure, do the outlines or notes in the way that you do it, not the way that I do it. I'm kind of a Roman numeral kind of bullet list kind of person, but every once in a while I will do like an artistic interpretation and dance of notes, right? I do have like, you know, left brain and right brain stuff going on. If I'm super duper, oh, there's a typo. Always let me know if there's a typo. If I'm super duper fidgety or super bored, sometimes I get the colored pencils out and I start to, you know, do that kind of stuff. So again, I require this, and you know what? I changed it to 10 points. So let me fix that too. I changed it to 10 points because I've seen some really good work come out of the notes. Some people give me like 18 pages of notes. I don't need 18 pages of notes. If they're typed, 2 pages, if they're handwritten, 4, if it's a mind map or like a graphic novel, give me at least 1 in color. You can give me a videotape of you sitting on your bed talking about what notes you would have written down if you were a note taker. I'm okay with that too, right? 3 minutes maybe. So some people like to overdo it. To me, notes means that you've sat with the chapter, you've kind of made some stuff here. I don't say that they're right or wrong. Obviously, if the content, if you're turning in chapter 1 for chapter 11, that's inaccurate. So I'll just say, hey, resubmit. No big deal. So the beginning of the week kind of starts that way. And those aren't due till Fridays. So if the module opens like on a Monday, you guys have all kinds of time to do it. It should take you an hour maybe, right? We have to, as professors, balance the work in class and the work out of class. And so it's supposed to be like 9 hours a week for each 3-unit class. I would say 9 hours is the maximum time spent on what I assign. Some people can get it done in 3 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever, right? But I look at that maximum time as like, if you really took your time, yeah, you could spend 9 hours reading, doing the discussion boards, whatnot. The next is the activity/discussion board. I will change that. And these are 15 points now too. I step these up because, first of all, I know discussion boards are a challenge for a lot of people, but we are required to do them, especially if we're outside of class. This is the only way that we can replicate which was actually happening in the classroom. So, and I'm very specific in the directions, and I don't make them boring. I try to make them like, sometimes there's an art project in there. Sometimes you're interviewing a parent. Sometimes you're going out and observing something. So I try to make it as interesting as possible. And I strongly encourage you guys to get those in the week that they're due. The rest of the due dates, we'll talk about. I'm pretty flexible. That's new for me this semester. Discussion boards are static that week. Because if we're talking about infants who are learning how to talk, like language acquisition, and then 6 weeks later, we're talking about 10-year-olds language acquisition, 2 different things, right? So discussion boards, get them in that week that they're due. I do a reflection journal at the end of each chapter, not due till Sunday. Most everything is not due till Sunday. So you have the whole week. So Monday through Sunday is the week. The reflection journal is in 3 parts. Hey, 3 to 5 sentences. What stuck out to me? What did I learn? Right? Number 2, something else that the book didn't mention, but maybe sort of mentioned, but you can like deep dive on it. So let's say we're talking about genetics, we're talking about DNA, but you wanted to learn more, you wanted to learn more about that. Shut off my phone. Hopefully it's not my kid's school. Just want to say, nope, spam a lot in the middle of the day. Yay. Anyways, so the journal is, what did I learn? What else is out there? Send me a TikTok, send me a podcast. I don't care. Because what's in our book is not everything that's out there. Child development is everywhere. Whatever concept you learn about it. And by the way, the act of finding something to link back to our class makes that learning way more personal to you. The last 3 points are, how would I use this in my future life or career? If you're going to be a child development person, you're going to be a teacher, great. This applies. If you're not, and you're like, I'm going to be a parent, great, that applies. If you're like, I ain't ever having kids, but my siblings will, I'll be a great aunt or uncle. Fair? Show me. Yeah. Or I'm going to own a business and I'll have to keep that in mind when blah, 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 whatever, things like that. Apply it to your life, right? And then I do have these optional feedback surveys. Sometimes I give them 5 points, 100% extra credit, 100% extra credit. I do have those on every module. So you're telling me this is weird, this is lame, that video didn't work, like that discussion board was hard, blah, blah, blah. Tell me. Cool. Your opinion is awesome. So we do have assignments in here. We do an observation. It's a virtual. I gave you 3 or 4 different options. If you have a kid in your bubble, you can watch the kid. If you work with kids, you can, whatever, just not during work time. I give you all the instructions. And this is really kind of easy, quite frankly. I literally give you very, very detailed instructions. This impact project means that we're going to I'm going to ask you one question right here. Let's talk about the cultural, economic, political, historical context. Like, what is child development? How is it affected by the larger society? Like right now, what is it? There's a bunch of 4-year-olds wearing a mask in preschool right now in our city. How is that helping language acquisition, right? And that's not technically political. It's a pandemic, right? So how do you think that will, right? And then when I say choice board, I give you options on like, do you want to do write a song about it? Do you want to write a poem about it? Do you want to I don't know, anything. If you want to do a piece of art about it, if you wanted to do an interpretive dance about it, like I literally want to see that answer your way. And we'll talk a lot more about that. I do record the instructions for assignments. So there'll be a video on there. You guys can just watch that 1,000 times too. The end of the semester is a lifeline project where you do make PowerPoint or Google Slides or something similar, 1 slide per chapter. So if we're talking about middle childhood physical development, and so that's like, let's say 4th, 5th, 6th grade, and that's when you really got into soccer, that slide's going to be like physical development, and we're going to do this, right? And you're going to put it a term, see how it applies to you, pull some pictures. So you have basically a scrapbook of you and how this class applies to you. I give you a template, I give you the instructions. Again, I want to see you. I don't want to see the book regurgitated because I want to see how you get it. And then we do a thing called Portfolium, course summary portfolio. It's online. It's basically everything you've done in this class put into Portfolium. I do break that down into 3 or 4 separate smaller assignments, so it's not all crammed out at the end. First one is like, go to Portfolium, start an account, get comfortable with the controls. Next one is like, update our class, like put our class in there and put folders in there for the things that we do. Maybe update a resume, put your resume in there with your skills or your clubs or your education. Like, so at the end, you will have an online portfolio, by the way, is owned by the people who own Canvas. And when you go to get a job, the teachers will excuse me, not teachers, but people will say like, what are your skills? You're not just like telling them, you can show them. You can download it into a PDF. You can put every single class, every single college you've gone to. And it's like LinkedIn, but like not like LinkedIn, similar, right? And you bet when I applied for this job, I used my LinkedIn, which is similar to Portfolio. And I didn't have to do all the like, when did I work here from there to there, because it was already there and it just automatically populated. Trust me, saved me hours. And yes, do I have PowerPoints, Prezis, syllabi? Like, yeah, when I worked at OCC, when I worked at Irvine, when I worked at Cuyamaca, when I worked like all these different places, right? So yeah, this is kind of the wave of the future. And hopefully if you are going into the teaching credential program at like Cal State Fullerton or Chapman or Long Beach, we're trying to get them to get onto Portfolio instead of having like an actual folder. It's kind of lame. Like, we need to move on. Like, education has moved forward. Let's all move forward. We do have quizzes and exams in this class. If you see right here, at the end, like right here, I put here the lowest outline will be dropped. The lowest activity or discussion board will be dropped. The lowest reflection journal will be dropped. I literally do that. And even down here, the lowest quiz will be dropped. And for the first time ever, I'm doing this. The lowest exam will be dropped. Wait, what? That is equivalent of 100 points by the end of the semester. Because I've noticed that, let's just say out of the 5 exams that are in this class, I make them unlimited time, unlimited chances. Most people there's one exam where they just like, and if that was like off your points, that would help a lot. So you'll see that I'm flexible, but don't take that as a pushover. I need this flexibility to be shared. And I also need, like, if you are going to be late on something, I do this piece called right here, where people like, what's your, how many points you take off for being late? Let's go over this. I set up all the dates in Canvas, but if you miss the date, I do not take points off for being late. However, you need to let me know you're going to be late and what's your makeup plan. So like you say, like, oh, my boss called me in, or I had to work a double, or I was unfortunately in a car accident or whatever. Can I, instead of Sunday, can I turn it in by Tuesday? My answer is always yes, right? But if you're the person who like doesn't reach out and tell me things like that, then we're gonna have to have a chat. Do you want me chasing you down, or do you just want to like send me a little message? Do it like that. So again, if there's more than a week that you haven't submitted anything, I will be reaching out. Yeah. Because again, if you look at everything that I dropped the lowest, you can kind of take a week off, because over the week you have outlines, a journal, a discussion board, a quiz. And if I drop the lowest, that's a week, right? If you need self-care, if you're traveling, my spring break doesn't line up with my kids' spring break. If your parents booked you something, trust me, I get it all the time. Oh, my parents booked my spring break on the wrong week. I'm like, oh, you can still do this class while you're traveling or take the week off. Yeah. So again, I call them target dates. I just need to know where you're at with that. Some people are very compulsive about it. You can always turn in stuff early. But the only thing that I'm sticking on is this right here. Discussion boards are not accepted late. But now let's calculate that for a second. Discussion boards are 15 points. And there's about, oh, I'm sorry. Discussion boards, did I put in 15 or 10? Let's see. But, I think I put in 15. So let me double check that. But let's say we're somewhere between 150 points or about 225 points. You can still, if there's 1,100 points in this class, if you miss 110 points, you can still get an A in the class. So skip some of the discussion boards, or if you're busy that week, just don't do it. It's not the end of the world. I want people to understand that this class is similar to real life, because college isn't like, people say, oh, college isn't the real world. Well, this is community college. So guess what? Yeah, we are the real world. Most everybody's working. Most everybody's just trying to get their education on, trying to save a buck. That's what we do. We reflect the community and we're realistic about it, right? So here's the deal. Being flexible in a class teaches us skills on how to be flexible outside of a class. Yeah. Yeah. So again, everything in life, even if there is a due date, like taxes. Yeah, right. The last 2 years, America got a 90-day break, right? But if you want to still turn in your taxes late, you just have a consequence. Like everything. Like if I don't put the trash cans out, I have a consequence. My trash cans are full or they stink, right? If I, let's see, what's another consequence? Taxes. Oh, if I don't pay my rent, if I don't pay my credit card, if I don't pay my utilities, if I don't pay my car tax, they just tack on some more money. Do you want that? Well, maybe some people are like, oh, okay, I'm late, but I paid the fee. Same thing. If I want to speed, I'm going to get a speed. Everything has consequences in life. This class is very, very flexible. Your consequence, think of it this way. To be late for a due date, your consequence is called stepping up forward and not being like, oh, I have to pay a fee on the backside. No, just let me know ahead of time. That's it. I'm trying to get that shift of people trying to hide from things and then pay the penalty at the end, to shift to like, hey, let's just be open and honest at the beginning. I'm not going to get to it. I'm going to be late. Just throw that out there, right? We can't shift society if we don't make small changes to shift society. Okay. So again, this is the entire syllabus. It's all the gobbledygook. I will double check. I will go ahead back and spell checks, do the points, double check everything. And then I'll reload one of these things. Our book is already listed here, but guess what? I also put it in a module. And again, this was put together by College of the Canyons. The book is pretty good. And so what I did is I took each section and broke it down. Once the modules are open, I took each section and broke it down into something a little bit more easily to little smaller pieces. So like, for example, the woman who wrote the book here, Jennifer Paris, she's, she has like 2 small children. She's like really good, whatever. She has some content. But let's say, for example, 1.1 and 1.2 and 1.3, I broke those all down and try to put tiny little videos, like, and I'm talking like 2 to 3 minute videos for like maybe each concept here. So we talked, so this is it, 1.1, that is it. That is your reading for 1.1. It's not a lot. The book is, let's say if you print it out, it looks like this. So it's kind of a lot, but the writing's small and then the pages are not that full. So like, let's say, like the page is, you probably won't see it because of my background, but the page is like 3/4 full, big whip, right? And so I printed it out because I like to have a hard copy and then I can make notes, whatever. But if we're looking at this one piece of chapter 1, it's not a lot. So what I do is I talk about like lifelong development or multi-directional development or multi-dimensional. And then I talk about these domains and things like that. And so I put little 3 to 5 videos on like a small section, maybe 3, you know, at least 1. Some of the other sections can be a little hefty. We don't want to like scare people off, but I told you child development people really go nutsoid for certain sections. So this one's periods of development, basically ages, right? We talk about before you're born, 0 to 2, 3 to 5, or 6 to 12, and 13 and up, right? So yeah, I put like a little section on each one. So I try to make it as interesting as possible. Some people love it, some people hate it. Again, this is a choose your own adventure. Watch all the videos, read all the words, do none of that. I know some people for a fact come in my class and start with the quiz. And you know what? That could be a way to do it, because even if you take the quiz once and you get every single one of them wrong, you've read the questions, you've looked at what you need to go back to look in the chapter where, like, we're talking about heredity. You can go back to the section on heredity. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's why I give multiple chances and unlimited time. If you want to take every quiz 30 times to get your full 10 points, be my guest. You know why? Because every time you do it, you actually learn and remember something. Whether you've learned it and remembered it within 7 minutes or 70 minutes, it makes no difference. The point is, how do you take this information and apply it to your life? Again, every single chapter that is in this book, you guys have already experienced. You guys are technically experts at child development already. Wait, what? So yeah, so we have a lot of really cool stuff here. So again, that module has the actual link to the book. So you're welcome to get in there, print it out, not print it out, highlight it, blah, blah, whatever you need to do. Get comfortable. You have 4 weeks to get super comfortable. This first section right here, once you read this guy, once you click it, the rest of the stuff will kind of show up. But this is, again, more policies and tech support and self-care and, you know, a little bit about me and like how to do well in this course. Now, when the class starts, you're going to see prep point 4, and we'll have like a scavenger hunt on the syllabus. We have an academic honesty statement. I have a new one called The Secret to Your Success, where you take a survey, including Myers-Briggs and your learning style, and kind of answer some questions. That's just for me. It's like a little quick, short answers. It includes questions like, how would I know you need extra support? Like, for example, when I get super stressed, I don't call my friends. I kind of like get super stressy, and I don't want to like share my super stressy with everybody. But that's precisely when we need the support, right? So I'm learning that. And my friends know that if they haven't heard from me in a week, they're gonna reach out. Hi, are you stressed? Yes, I am. So things like that. So let me know how I can help you. To me, quality is way more important than quantity. And my philosophy is like not teaching content, but teaching you how to be learners. Because life is all about learning. You're not just learning in college, in a classroom, in a coffee shop, in your bedroom. It's like life is learning everywhere. Ask questions. Get curious, do more research, make it connect to you, right? Not connect to me. I make my own connections. You connect to you. So again, I left this one here. So the book's here. And then this supportive module is like, hey, read this. And this is super optional. All these little things you can read. This is like some tech suggestions, some spelling and grammar. When I say outlines, there's a bunch of like examples right here. Let's see, I give you some like how to hack your essay. I do one essay question on every exam. A lot of people skip those because they hate them, but I'm telling you right now, for people who do the essay questions, 10 points. My exams are true, false, multiple choice, matching, one 10-point essay and one 5-point something else, right? For the people who do the essay question, I can give you more than 10 points. In fact, anything you turn in here except for a quiz, I can give you more than the points that are stated. If it says 15 points for discussion board and you blow it out of the water, I can give you 20 points. I love it. I am the mistress of the points, right? And by the way, points do not determine you as a learner. That just shows your effort and you're getting rewarded, right? Some people do leave this class with like 107%, 103%, right? I do roll up grades. Like if you have an 89.5, I roll it up to an A. If you have a 69.5, I roll it up to a C. But here's the thing. Again, a grade does not determine who you are as a learner and who you are going to be in the future. Just the points aren't as important as the content and the application to you. Cool. So again, my goal is to keep everything predictable, on a schedule, clear, concise with the video. Like I try to do as much as I can to make it as meaningful of a learning opportunity that we can have without being in the classroom. I love being in the classroom. I just don't have a choice on all of those things. When everybody still wants online classes, I get it. And not everybody wants them, but you know, next semester is another semester. Again, a future teacher resource or something like that. So completely optional stuff that's ready for you, but you can, but I don't show you all the other, oh, chapter 11 is ready for you. I'll click that one off. But like, for example, you'll see 1.11.1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, and every single, let's see, every single one. So this is chapter 11. This is like for like 10-year-olds, right? This is when I say chapter 11, this links you back to the book. I don't have a video in there, but let's see what's next. Piaget, yeah. So the author does create these PowerPoints and a quick little video sometimes. She doesn't have them for every chapter, but when they're there, they're there. And then I put in these little videos. So Piaget talks about this as a lifelong theory. So you'll see this actual video multiple times. You don't have to watch it multiple times. If you get it the first time, it's fine. Seriation means putting things in order, first this, then that. And then classification. This is when the dad says, put all the red ones together, put all the green ones together, right? I love it when there's dads taking child development classes too, and then they go home and they videotape their kids. I love it. Reversibility, when a kid gets older, they get smart enough to know that the water in the tall glass is the same as the water in the short glass. Same thing here with this one. And you can tell she's like taking a child development class and he's like answering it super fast. It's hilarious. Same thing with this one, another option. I try to put boys and girls, different ages. And then Sternberg, our book actually talks about Sternberg and he's actually alive. Not a lot of theorists are actually alive. So I try to put anytime there's like a person that you can see on a live video, whether they're alive or they've moved on. So I try to put as many of those. So again, watch all of those, watch none of those. Make sense? So I'm going to leave the student view and I'm going to just block that chapter 11. So you'll see I have everything. I just copied chapter 11 over from a different section. Yeah. So all I have to do is do that. It's gone for now, but you gave you guys a sneak peek and look, I have all the modules set up and ready to go. It was a brand new book last semester. So I did all the heavy lifting last semester, except for like videos like this, like when we're meeting. So I will record these ones and post them hopefully the same day. So you guys can go ahead and look at that. Okay. So we've seen a sneak peek to the syllabus. We've seen what Canvas looks like. Can I tell you one thing you guys can work on in the next 4 weeks and get a jump start? Who's interested? Wait, nobody? Wait, everybody? Okay. Elle's like, give me the goods. Okay, so the notes. The notes are the easiest thing to get a jump on. And even, I'm serious, like pull open the book right here. It's a free book. Pull open the book. Go through chapter 1. Just take your notes. Do it however you want. Again, I'm not looking for a master's thesis. Just give me your notes. Right now, again, if you write big, I look for like 4 pages handwritten. Take a picture of it. Upload those. If you're a handwriter, go to town. Right? Do all the chapters. Whoever. Do the first one only. Do the first unit is 3. Every unit is 3 chapters. So if you're like, well, I'm just going to do unit 1. Great. Another thing, again, I ask, so if you, let's say if you were like super hyper in the next month and you wanted to do the notes for chapters 1, 2, and 3, and then you're like, well, I want to do something else for unit 1. Okay, well then the reflection. Now, again, you can't turn them in until the class starts, but you can hold on to the Word document or have it in your notebook, and you can take pictures and upload it when the class starts. Make sense? So the reflection is, again, what did I learn? Like 3 to 5 sentences. What else is out there? So if, let's say, we're talking about intro to child development, you could even Google something like current research in child development. Why do we study children? What are we learning from children? Like, how important is child development? However, that goes down the rabbit hole, right? And then the last part is, how would this chapter apply to my life? Either as a career, as a parent, as a family member, as a business owner, it doesn't matter. Graphic designer, doesn't matter. Fireman, whatever your major is, right? Apply it to you. So like those, I mean, to me, let's say max, you would be getting in like 6, if you did the first 3 chapters and you did the notes, and then you did like a reflection and then uploaded. I mean, like, you're kind of like the first 3 weeks of class, you would be halfway done. I mean, you have 4 weeks to do that. Is that a lot of work? No. It's just up to you. I mean, again, I can't accept work because the class isn't open, but I'm giving you guys like keys to the kingdom. Make sense? Oof, good one. Yeah. So now you can focus on your other classes and get your schedule all settled out and X, Y, and Z. Right. So this is the same 3-unit class. It's in 14 weeks instead of 16. I'm sorry, it's in 12 weeks instead of 16. So it's a little bit more intense, a little bit more every week, because think about it, a 3-unit class meets 3 hours, 16 weeks. And if we went like this, we're not going to meet 3 hours, 16 weeks. We're going to do our 90 minutes. I will be having this meeting every Tuesday for 90 minutes. And then the following, like Tuesday, Thursday is where we're supposed to meet if we were meeting face to face. But since this is a hybrid, we only have to meet once a week. But that Thursday, I will be here as a drop-in time, 10:15, not a real class. You guys can come and go, ask questions, complain, whatever you need to do. I'll be here. I don't want to call it office hours because, yeah, I'm in my office, but we're learning that sometimes students hear that term office hours and they get intimidated, like, well, she's working in our office and I don't want to bother her. So it's open drop-in time. Any class, let's say you were taking 107 and 110 or 205 with me, you can come. Yeah. So Mondays, I do the same thing for the Wednesday class. So I lecture Monday or meet Monday, and then Tuesday I meet with you guys, and then Wednesday will be open drop-in time, and Thursday will be open drop-in time. You can come to either one. You have my Zoom room number, just pop in. Yeah. Okay, so we covered kind of a lot of stuff, like halfway covered a lot of stuff. When the class starts, like I'll say this way, the Friday before the class starts. So like, what's that? The 3rd, let's say the 4th, I'll probably open the class so you guys can kind of get a jump start. Does that sound fair? Good. Good. So we have things that you can do. You see the syllabus, the book is free, class is moved. We're going to keep meeting here. This is the same Zoom room. And then I have open drop-in time. Between now and 4 weeks from now, email me, ask me any questions about anything about any time, even if it's like missions records or whatever, bookstore, Hawk's Nest, Hawk's Perch, I guess we have it, the Hawk's Nest is like the basic needs program. Let me know anything that you guys need. If I don't have the answer to it, I either need to find out or help us both find out, and then I'll be able to have that answer for somebody else. I'm also very, very plugged in on campus, all the mini meetings and all this whatnot. We are also starting a resilience focused education initiative here, created by me and another child development professor. And so keep your eye out open for some of those announcements. I also am putting together monthly major meetings for child development, or if you're interested in child development or you're not sure if you're interested in child development, we're going to do a once a month meeting. I'm going to let this week go and then I'll send you guys flowers. We're also going to do a permit party. So if you are a child development major, come to that. We'll help you get some of your tuition reimbursed. if you are working with kids, you're a child development major, we can get you like about $25 back on every unit that you've spent. Wait, what? Yeah. So yeah, I'll give you more information as we go. And yeah, we got this. Again, you guys are already experts. You've already been through every single chapter, right? We're saying heredity, conception, like we've already been through there. You've already been through third grade, right? And so you guys already, like, think about it. If you're walking into anthropology and you're studying about a dead language or dead culture or society, that might be brand new information to you, right? If you're taking history of jazz, that might be brand new information to you. You may have heard jazz before, but had no idea. You may have heard of the word anthropology or heard of like ancient Egypt, but they have no idea. This stuff you're doing. It's almost like putting a label maker on the stuff you're already doing. And yes, I have a teenager and I show him the last unit, the last 3 chapters. I'm like, well, look at what you're doing. Like, this is very normal because every teenager does this. Like, yeah. So I do love this stuff and I'm here for you. I'm really looking forward to a great semester, even though maybe we want to be in face-to-face, but we're going to make the best of it. And hopefully this is the last semester. Right. So again, come to the information, come to the lectures when we start up again, or don't watch the recordings. Good. But let me know how you learn best so I can keep up on that. Because some people are like, leave me alone. I learn best on my own calendar. So I do put all the dates into the calendar in Canvas so you can upload that to iCal and all that business. So some people are like, no, I need to talk with you like 3 times a week. Fine, let's do that. Yeah, bring a friend. There's spaces left in this class, so bring a friend. That's why we had to push it back, because only 11 people. We usually shoot for 20. It will not be canceled if we don't get any more people. We're just giving it another 4 weeks to get more people. Yeah. So what other questions can I answer for you guys? Yes, I do talk a lot, and yes, I'm slightly caffeinated. What else? I'm gonna give Natalie the award for having the last video on. Everybody else went to like pictures. I was like, pictures and names. Okay, good. Any questions, comments, concerns, complaints?
Professor Laney,
Yes.
I have some questions.
Yes.
Because on like the web advisor, it said that this class is Monday, Wednesday. So even though it's Monday, Wednesday, you're gonna have Zoom. Like,
no, I think there's a little bit of confusion. There are two 107s.
okay.
I have 2 sections of 107. One is Monday,
Okay.
Wednesday, one is Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay.
So here's the deal. If you are in the
Yeah.
Monday, Wednesday, here's the
Okay.
secret. You can come to the Monday lecture. You can come to the Tuesday lecture. It's the same thing.
Okay.
It's the same Zoom room.
Okay.
Sometimes
and
people sign up. Hold on, sometimes people sign up for the class and they'll be like, I can't do Mondays anymore. Well, come Tuesday
okay.
or watch the video. Does
Okay.
that help?
Yes, thank you.
And then the
I
110
also,
class, I think you're in the 110 class.
yes.
That one is only Mondays. I only have one
Okay.
section. But you know what?
Okay.
That one, they switched that 100% online. I'm still going to meet Mondays at noon.
Okay. Thank you. I have another question
Yes.
for the notes, because like I want to get everything in before. When would those be due? When class really starts?
Okay, so usually when I open up that chapter for the week, so Monday at 8
Yes.
a.m. opens a chapter, they're due on Fridays by 8 p.m.
By Fridays. And can I turn them all in at once, or
Yep.
depending? Okay.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Like if you were like, I'm doing chapters 1 through 15 in the next month. Yeah. When the class opens on 3/7, you can upload them all.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You might have to remind me though. You might have to remind me because I normally don't open everything, but I can. I can. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm flexible on that stuff because again, in my opinion, learning happens all the time. You don't have to be like, oh, I only learn between 10:15 and 11:45 on Mondays and Wednesdays, Tuesdays and Thursdays. No. Yeah, good questions, Elle. Good questions. Anyone else? Katie, Natalie?
Yeah, so just to confirm, y'all want to work ahead of call. So we can read the book, we could do the reflection journal, and then we can do the note, right? That's things that we can just
Yeah,
start
you
to
just
knock
can't,
out on our own.
yeah, you just can't upload them until
Okay,
the
and
class is open.
those are the only really the three things that we should be able just to do on our own, and then the rest
Because
obviously
what's left is a quiz and a
quizzes. Yeah.
discussion board,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
That doesn't, yeah, it doesn't quite work. But you know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
basically 50% of the week. So you have outline, discussion board, reflection, and a quiz. You basically get to do 2 out of anything. 2, if you want, literally, you can do chapters 1 through 15 if you want to. I
Okay.
think that's only fair, right? We kind of got a last minute switcheroonie, and you guys
Yeah.
now have 4 weeks to, like, how do you make best use of your time? Blow it off completely, or yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah. And then thank you for clarifying that it won't get canceled. That was one of my biggest concerns, and I almost was considering going to a different class just because I want to get this in now.
It will
so
not.
it's good that
Okay,
it's not
so
gonna
I'm
be
going to give you guys a
canceled.
little backstory secret. I'm a full-time professor. I have a contract with the state of California. And quite frankly, if this class never filled, they still have to pay me. So what they're doing right now is they're saying like, well, we want 20 students, but if you have 11, you're still going to do something instead of sit at home and eat bonbons. Right. So if I was a part-time professor, sometimes they go, there's not enough students to sustain your salary by we cut the section. So because I'm full-time, they have to honor that. So since we kind of did the switcheroonie, it's kind of like locked in. It's locked in. The only thing that they might do, which I won't let them do, is like they'll be like, oh well, let's push it to 8 weeks. No, you guys already got kind of yanked around, and I don't want any more changes. Fair? Yeah, I don't think it's because there are 8-week sessions, and you guys could always hop over there right now. But this class in 8 weeks is like 2 chapters a week. That's a little hairy. It's a little hairy. Right now, it's like 1.5. Yeah, we can do it. We can do it. In fact, I'm gonna like look at that, how I put those, how I kind of mush those sections together, to make it so we're not super stressed. And I'm very mindful of like, like week before spring break, I try to have something assigned before the, spring break, so you guys can actually take a break. Even on holidays, we do have 4 holidays this semester. So we have the 18th and 22nd of this month, which is like a presidential thing. So on the 18th, the 22nd is a Monday, or the 22nd is a Monday. I'll open the module like, oh no, I'm sorry. This month is not our class, next month. So in March, we have March 31st is Cesar Chavez Day. It's a Thursday. You can turn in stuff, not turn in stuff. I don't require anything because technically the campus is closed. The first week in April is spring break, so the 4th through the 9th. I don't assign anything. I don't expect you guys to do anything. Take a break. You know what I'm saying? But if you're behind, that's on you. Catch up, right? And then May 30th is a Monday. So that doesn't really affect this class, but I will still open the modules on that Monday. Again, you guys can work or not. I'm saying it's a holiday, take the holiday. But if you want to use your time in another way, you're an adult. Cool. Some people are like, holidays, I'm just gonna work. I'm working at the store anyway, right? Right. And I have a kid at home, so I can't exactly work on those days because, I have, my 14-year-old has multiple disabilities. And so there's a lot going on there. And it's like having a 4-year-old. Yeah. And so I can't be like, oh, mommy has to work, entertain yourself. Well, no, when he has time off, I have time off, and we spend it together. Otherwise, what is his story going to say? Like, oh, my mom worked so hard and ignore me. No, I didn't adopt a child to ignore him. Plus, he will not be ignored because he plays lots and lots of instruments. So, oh my God. Except for yesterday at school, again, 14, he's a 9th grader. He didn't feel like doing anything at school yesterday. He goes to like an autism school, and he's like, I just didn't feel like doing anything. That's not autism, pal. It's teenager all the way, right? And so I was like, okay, cool. Let me text daddy and tell him to take all the instruments out of your room because you don't feel like doing your job. You don't get toys, bro. Don't call me bro. Okay. It's got to be hard to have a mom like me because I ain't having it. ain't having it. Plus I have all the stuff in the book to say, I don't need to do the shenanigans. A poor guy. I love him to bits, but yeah, he can't get away with anything with me. I literally was down at his school yesterday at 5 p.m. with the director. And she's like, oh, I wanted to leave because you were frustrating me. I was like, oh, welcome to motherhood with this kid. But, it is what it is. I think teenagerness is a beautiful, beautiful time of life. It's awkward and gross and pimply and crazy. And none of us get to skip it. Do you guys realize that? None of us get to skip it. None of us get to skip it. So same thing with all these phases that we're going to learn about. None of us get to skip it. We didn't get to be like, third grade. No, I don't need to like do sight words and write paragraphs and stuff or sentences. No, I'm gonna skip that. No, we don't get to skip it. We get to go through it and then we turn into adults that are good. We'll see. Okay, cool. What other questions? Was that Jasmine, Danny? Oh, one of these days I want to see that pupper on your screen. You're so sweet. If I do a lecture from home, you guys will see my puppers because she's obsessed with me. Anything? We don't have to stay at 11:45. Like this was just like a pre class. So I'll button up the recording and post it maybe on like the module that says like prep week. I'll do it like the first line. So you guys can watch it or listen to it again or never. Good. Yeah, so I think this will be good. You guys will have like a jump start on some stuff. Again, if you're a handwriter, just take a picture and upload it. If you're a typer, save the file. Just be like, Child Development 107, Chapter 1 notes. Child Development 107, Chapter 1 reflection. Make sense? You know what? Let me do it before I let you guys go. I'm going to put in the chat just like some tips, the 3 sections of the reflection. Let's do this one. 3 sections. This is, I do a more of an expanded version when I give you the actual description of the assignment, but I say part one is 3 to 5 sentences. Now, when I say 3 to 5 sentences, this is a trick for all you guys for every one of your classes. That's the minimum. Okay, again, reflections are 15 points. I can give 20 points. If you're constantly shooting for the lowest bar, the lowest line in the sand, like the minimum, then maybe it's going to be at max 15 points and go down, right? So always just give like 1 extra sentence, maybe 2, right? You don't need to go nutsoid either, right? I won't really go over 20 points. I look at it like, if it's 15 points and I give you 20, I just gave you a 30% boost. That's plenty, right? 3 to 5 sentences. This is on what you learned in the chapter. And it's okay to say, I didn't really learn anything because I already know this stuff because I'm an expert. That's cool. Tell me what was interesting. What stuck out to you, even if you thought something was wrong. Okay, so that's part 1. Part 2, this is all in one, every chapter has a reflection journal that has 3 parts. Okay, part 2 is find an additional resource. Find an additional resource that relates to the chapter. So if we're talking about infants learning how to babble, kids learning how to run and jump. Do you guys remember that? Like in preschool, kindergarten, it was all about hopscotch and how far can you jump and can you catch a ball? Can you throw a ball? It was like all those gross motor skills, those big muscle skills and coordination. If we're talking about that, go find it. Like again, a podcast, an article, a journal, a TikTok, anything, right? Okay, so that's part 2. And then part 3, how does this apply to your life in your future career, as a parent or a business owner? Make sense? So each 3 of those sections are 5 points each. I'm giving you guys like the sneak. So literally, I mean, if you guys are like, want to get it all out, that would be about, this is going to sound weird. Let's look on the syllabus real quick. I actually break down the points here. Assessments means tests, about 30% assignments, 20% discussion boards, 20% reflection. So let's say you finished, I'm just going to talk crazy right now. You did all of the reflections, chapters 1 through 15, all of the outlines, chapters 1 through 15. You just finished 30% of the class before it started. I have a touch of the OCD, so that like makes me happy. Like I would totally do that. I would totally do that. But I know not everybody else has that. And so if you want to like cram it all in, to me, I look at it like what I can do now. So finals week isn't psycho, because it's psycho for everybody. And yes, I do right here. This is all the breakdown. Prep week items by about 50 points. I'll double check this math. But again, this is everything in the class. This right here, this is extra credit. And the drop lowest, oh, it's actually 100 now. Because this is now 10. No, this is 15. And then I add 100. So yeah, let me update those. And then when the class starts, I will give you the PDF version. Okay, so Katie asked, any specific chapter notes? This is how I look at it. Like, so you'll see in chapters, let me see if I can pull up the book again. Yeah, let me pull up the book here. So let's say you are on, so LibreText is who's hosting our book, Home, Bookshelf, Early Childhood, Child Growth and Development. These are all the chapters, okay? So let's do physical development, adolescents, teenagers. This is something you guys might remember, right? Physical development really kind of means we got taller, we got pimply, we got that stuff, right? So let's say if you look at this, how this is all set up, this kind of gives you the learning objectives, meaning like at the end of this chapter, you should know this stuff. By the way, this is how I make quiz questions and exam questions on these objectives. I'm like, did I ask a question on physical growth and brain growth? Did I talk about teenage pregnancy? Did I talk about substance abuse? Right? Gives me a hint, right? So these are the sections of chapter 13, physical growth, brain growth, physical changes, right? So what I would do, look, it's only like in the summaries, just repeats what you're just reading here in the intro, right? So you have 6 sections. And let's say look at physical growth. Physical growth will now break it down into growth spurt. See the highlighted, the bolded word. I always, when I'm taking notes, like try to put all the course terms. That's how I know. Trust me, this stuff is going to be on an exam, right? Look at that as the whole section for 13.1. So what I would say is for each section, try to write a couple of bullets, right? Or do 13.1 adolescent growth spurt equals, and then define it, right? You can always do like the screen capture, put your pictures on there. If you're a visual person, it's up to you. My son literally gained 60 pounds last year and 6 inches. So he was 93 pounds at spring break. So like St. Patrick's Day-ish. 93 pounds, and he is now 153 and 5'7", and he was 5 foot. Yeah, growth spurt. Like he was like super scrawny and then got bigger. Okay, so 13.2, brain growth. You know what? Pull that out, screen capture it, draw it out, do whatever works for your brain. But again, so we talked about pruning. Pruning is important. Limbic system, prefrontal cortex, these are all important. So if you really just looked at like these terms, these highlighted terms, right? And by the way, if you're kind of stuck, these are all where this chapter is pulled from. I will actually look at these like, oh, well, what is this one? Where does that came from? There's other stuff, right? Same thing if we go to the next chapter. So again, if you're handwriting it, 4 pages. So you have 6 sections to get 4 pages. Yeah, right? Don't make the pictures super big, right? And then puberty, all the good stuff, puberty. Yeah, all the stuff, right? And so look, this one was a little bit longer because we're talking about puberty. There's a lot more to say, right? Hormones, pregnancy, teen pregnancy. So maybe 13.1 and 13.2 are not that big, but 13.3 is huge. Pregnancy. Birth control, there's a big chart on it. Right? So again, there's more to write in certain sections. You guys can, so my tip to you is do it your way, but don't skip, because if you got time to do it, you're basically pre-learning the book. So when it comes to the actual having like a lecture day, you're gonna be like, oh, I heard that already. I already got that one. Or I'm not sure what that meant. I didn't understand it when I wrote it down the first time. So can you clarify that? Yeah, absolutely. Make sense? Does that sort of answer your question, Katie? Because I want it to be your way, but you can see certain things that you want to write and certain things you were like, okay, well, that's kind of short. And then that's kind of long. Sleep cycle, eating habits. Oh yeah, this one's a good one. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Diets, extremes. Yeah, teenagers, body dysmorphic disorder, all that business, all the eating issues here. Drugs, substance abuse, all the stuff. So yeah, some of the sections are a little bit bigger. Hallucinogens, substance abuse tolerance. Look at all these like references. So again, each section has a little bit more or a little bit less. This is emotional health. Now you're going to see, even though this chapter particularly talks about the teenager body, the body and the emotional health and puberty all kind of go together. So there's a lot of overlap, even though we'll say body, we normally focus on the body. So physical health, cognitive health, which is like how the brain learns, and then emotional health, but they do kind of like mush together a little bit. Emotional regulation and stress, teenagers. Yeah. And then I think that's it. And then disorders and syndromes, again, more anxiety. We're seeing a lot of depression and anxiety in teenagers. Makes perfect sense. Health and wellness, self-harm, that's huge. Suicidality, yeah, huge. And I like how this book really goes there. Our previous books sort of mentioned it. And then there's a summary. So if you're handwriting, can you get 4 pages out of all that? Yep. If you're typing, can you get 2 pages out of that? Yep. If you're a mind mapper and you're going to put a concept like teenagers' bodies and then do all the mind mapping around it, there's plenty to do. Make sense? Cool. So always just give a little bit more. So I always tell people, if you're a typist, don't do like the 2 spaces in between every line, maybe 1.5. And always do maybe like, if I'm saying 2 pages, do like 2.5. Right? And don't do the big margins. I see people do big font, big margins. I'm like, again, I'm a mom of a teenager to see the shenanigans. I was a teenager. I was the shenanigans. Don't do any. We don't need it. We're in college. We're adults. Good question. All right. So you kind of got it. I gave you the guidelines for the reflection, guidelines for the notes. And in Canvas, in the modules, I do give you examples of notes. Like, show me what you got, because again, the way I see notes is not the same as the way everybody sees notes. There we go. Share supportive information right here. How to outline a chapter, how to mind map. Again, that's a 1 page. Cornell notes, kind of boring, but some people love it. And doodle notes, it's another one. People like doodle their notes. I'm down with it. I've done Zentangles for notes. I've gotten out markers and pencils and whatnot. So however you need to do that. Again, this particular module is just extra information for you. Cool. Yeah, we got a lot done today. But between here and 3/7, email me. I'm on several times a day. Cool. In fact, I have 4 emails I got to attend to. All right, great. So it was great meeting everybody. What else can I help you with? Good. Natalie, any questions? Taylor, Danny, Jasmine? Good. Okay. All right, Elle. Oh, Natalie's got her puppers. Oh, it's not a pupper. It's a meow. Oh my God, that's a huge cat. Holy cow, that is a big cat. How big is that? It's like a 20-pounder? Oh, jeez. And a Siamese, they will not be ignored. They're like, I'm another human in this place. Oh yeah. I had a neighbor with a Siamese cat. We could hear her cat from inside the house. for inside of her house. Like, she's like, oh yeah. Oh, and now it's like, bye my people. Bye. I saw a sign that said dogs have owners and cats have staff. It's about right. My dog is like that size. I'm not kidding. Probably this size. My dog's about 17 pounds. So maybe like this, but white and fluffy. Yeah. Good. Excellent. Okay, good. So I hope I answered all your questions. I gave you a ton of information. I'm going to process this video and post it. Let me know what else you need. I'm here. Yeah. And again, I'm also teaching 110. That is, I have this one section that's 100% online. That's like the companion to this class afterwards. Similar format, just different content. So I have 2 sections of 110. They're technically online, but I do lecture 1 on Mondays at noon. And then 205 special needs, intro to special needs. I teach that 100% online. I have all the lectures videotaped, including my co-teacher last semester, who is a preschool owner. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. Okay, good. We good? I think we're good. Okay. Let me know if there's anything. Great meeting you, Katie, Al, Natalie, Taylor, Danny, was it? And who else is here? And Jasmine. I will, like, again, I will see you guys in a month, but in between, just let me know what you need. Cool.
All right, thank you.
Bye. See you soon.